Okay, so now we're going to talk about the products and kind of our washing routine for Bees Locs. Um, she usually washes or cleans her hair twice a week. Generally, for those twice a week washings, we just use conditioner. These are pretty much all the same products you saw when I showed V's hair routine. So these are the Talia Wajid products. This is the enhancing herbal conditioner, and this is what she generally just uses conditioner to clean her hair, approximately twice a week. I have heard some other people who have like maybe thicker locks or maybe maybe it's the texture of hair, will trap products into the locks, and so a thick conditioner is is not good to use in the locks because it'll get all kind of stuck inside the lock. So an option for that is to maybe put it in a separate bottle and water it down so it's not so thick. Excuse me, I'm a little congested. Or put it in your hand and maybe let some water run into your hand just to kind of thin it out before you apply it to the hair. We haven't appeared to really have a big problem with products getting trapped in her locks, but some people do. So just a tip. So we do that about twice a week, and then a little more for I don't know, every few weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, I'll want to use some shampoo. So we have the Talia Wajid, the Black Earth shampoo, and so that's one option. I can just wash her hair with the shampoo and follow up with the conditioner. Or there's also the option of using a clarifying shampoo if you feel like you need to get a deeper clean. And so I like to use Pantene Pro V clarifying shampoo. I read from somebody else whose routine is to, I believe, every month they do a deep clean. And they start with apple cider vinegar, which Bee does not like at all. She hates the smell of it, and I don't care for it either. But we put it in a spray bottle similar to this, maybe like a fourth of apple cider vinegar, and then fill the rest with water. And I spray her locks and dilute them really well. And then if I have some left in the bottle, I just kind of dump it over so we get her whole head covered in the apple cider vinegar, and then we put a shower cap on and let it sit for like 10 minutes or so. And then we rinse that out and we follow up with the clarifying shampoo. Then we rinse that out and we condition really well, because after using the vinegar, it's going to strip a lot of moisture out of the hair while it's doing the deep cleaning. So you're going to want to restore the moisture by, really saturating with conditioner and even following up after getting out of the shower with some good moisturizing. I've done it a few times. I'm not completely sold on it, but just thought I'd put it out there. Today, she's just recently got out of the shower, and today we did a real good cleansing with the clarifying shampoo, followed it by the Talia Wajid shampoo, and then the conditioner. And it seems to have gotten us really nice and squeaky clean today. So then, on a daily basis, I do the same thing I do with her sister's hair. We use the Talia Wajid protective mist modifier that I keep in this bottle diluted with water because I find it to be too thick on its own. And so we just have it watered down in here, and I just spray her locks every morning. And one of the good things about that is when she sleeps, it gets kind of all crazy, and by spraying it down in the morning, it helps her locks to kind of fall a little nicer. Kind of gets the bed head out. And then also just kind of good for moisturizing, and I make sure I kind of get down into her scalp, moving her locks around as I spray. And so sometimes here over the winter, when she gets out of the shower, I've been using this to moisturize. When it's warmer out, I usually use the coconut oil, just like I've showed you with V's hair. We use coconut oil to moisturize. The problem in the winter is it just doesn't melt as well, and I end up with a lot of little white pieces stuck in her hair that aren't melting in. In the summer when it's warm, the coconut oil just melts better. And I don't want to send her off to school or whatever with little chunks of white all over her head, so I haven't been using it as frequently over the winter. But if I were going to, the same way I demonstrated with V, I would scrape a little of the coconut oil out of the jar on my thumb, and then I would rub it between my hands to melt it as much as I could, and then I just, smooth it over the top, lift up the locks and try to get in between there really well, move them around and try and get down by the scalp, and then run it all the way through the length of her hair. So, and a little bit goes a long way. It doesn't take much. We've had this giant jar for quite some time now, and we're only just barely scratching the surface. So, that is an option for moisturizing after washing the hair. Just like V, she sleeps in a cap. Part of the reason in our house is just because we have 3 pets that shed. And so by putting the cap on when she's sleeping, or laying around the house, it keeps her from getting dog and cat hair all stuck in her locks, which is kind of a pain to have to pick out. So she sleeps in these caps, same caps that her sister has. We've had them for 4 years. I can't believe they're looking a little shabby, but they're still standing. I can't believe they've lasted us this long. I'll put that website on here, or the email address for Nadia who sells the caps. I'll put that on here as well if you're interested in picking up some of those. So she sleeps in those at night, and we do use a swim cap on her if she's in a pool sometimes. Kind of just depends on my mood. I think the chlorine is a bit damaging to her hair and dries it out, so sometimes we'll use a cap, sometimes we won't, and we'll just make sure we rinse and moisturize really well after being in the water. And then also, like in a lake, I feel like all the little gross seaweed and stuff that floats in the water will get all trapped in her locks, so I kind of prefer her to wear a swim cap then too. But if she's just like in a sprinkler or something like that, we don't bother with the cap. I think besides the tools that we use for tightening, that is the extent of the products that we use on her hair.